according to the national standard or the national curriculum, the student should achieve A2 by the end of year 7. And this test is a standardized test which gives feedback on how the students are doing in meeting that goal. The assessment of foreign languages is not very easy, as there are 4 skills. With receptive skills, everything is automated and automatically assessed. So you as teachers will not have to mark the answers that the students have given to the listening and reading tasks. The assessment of productive skills, however, is a bit trickier, as it is more difficult to assess, and their marking scales will have to be used. The performances of the sample group, which is 1,248 students, chosen by Harno, are double marked. So teachers will mark the papers or the tests once, the speaking test and the written test, and then trained assessors in Harno will mark the performances the second time. And for the sample group, the test is compulsory, and the students or the schools who are not part of the sample can choose to take the test voluntarily, and their performances are marked only once by their teachers. The assessors use A's to assess the writing and speaking performances, so they have to log in, and they are assigned a set of performances, so 8 in total, and so one assessor listens and reads to the performances of the same task that are included in sets, as I already said. So when you log in as a teacher, you have to go on the assessment. You have to make sure that you have your teacher profile open. So when you click on the link under your name, then you can have your public profile or private profile, and then the teacher's profile. So you have to do the assessment as a teacher. So make sure you have the teacher's profile active. Then you click on assessment, and then you have national standardized tests, and then you can see your sets of tasks here. There's this traffic lights system used here. So red means that there's something wrong, and yellow means that it's almost done, and green means that you've done everything. So here everything is red. So, and you can see that you haven't started assessing the answers. Here you can see your work in progress, and here it says how many answers you've assessed and you've confirmed. Okay, so if you want to start, so you, as I said, you should start with just one set. So W here stands for the written or the writing test, and S means speaking test. So there's one set of writing tasks and 7 sets of speaking tasks. So in order to start assessing, you click on the W1, and this is what you're going to see. So it says that you haven't finished assessing the papers and you have 7 answers still to assess. When you click here, you can see the answers you need to mark, or you can click here as well. And then you start the assessment. As I already said, we use marking scales to assess students' productive skills. This is something that is being done all over the world. Different international tests also use marking scales. And usually we have 2 aspects in our marking scales to make it as easy and as convenient as possible. However, using marking scales takes a bit of practice. And so for the email you need to assess, you have 2 aspects, the content and vocabulary and grammar. And here you can see points. So if there is no answer, or the student has written something completely different and is not really has not written an email to the friend, or you cannot really understand, then it's automatically 0 points, or you write 0. When they've only answered 1 question, or they have answered both questions but have written fewer than 30 words, then it's 1 point. You can see how many words they've written there. I'll show you a bit later. Then if they've answered both questions, but one or both of the questions are partly off topic, so sometimes they do answer the questions, but they also add some irrelevant information, then it's 2 points. Or they answer both questions but have written fewer than 30 words, but more than fewer than 60, but more than 30 words, then it's 2 points. And they get 3 points when they have answered both questions and have written at least 60 words. So this was the content aspect. And then the second thing you need to evaluate is their use of vocabulary and grammar. So again, if you cannot really understand, or they've written something completely different, or there is no answer, 0 points. If the email is difficult to understand because of errors in vocabulary, spelling, or grammar, then it's 1 point. If the meaning is sometimes not clear, it's 2 points. And if the meaning is clear, although there may be some errors, but the meaning is still clear, then you give 3 points. Now we'll have a look at what you as an assessor will be able to see once you start marking students' papers. So you can see, first of all, what test you are assessing. Then you can see the student's code number. Then it says it's in English, that the student has taken the test, but you haven't started assessing it. Then it says that you haven't assessed 4 out of 7 papers in total, and you have done 3, but you haven't here confirmed any yet. This is where you see the student's email, and this is where you see the word count. These are the aspects we already talked about, and here is the marking scale once again. If you want to see what the task looked like, then you can click on the student's view or the student's screen, And if you have any questions, you can write your questions here. So this is where you just write the numbers. Don't really pay any attention to the terms here. It says row points, but you as an assessor just have to follow the marking scale and write the numbers here. So you can't really refuse because you will just have to mark all the papers that have been assigned to you. After you've entered the points, you click on save or to the next answer. So here you can see the marking scale again, and also some sample answers that have already been assessed. So you can have a look at this document here before you start assessing the writing tasks, because then it will be easier for you to assess students' answers. So when you start assessing the writing click here first, have a look at the marking scale and some sample emails, and then you can start assessing the papers on your own.